Hello, hey, good day to you. Well, it's another week of your most exploring, entertaining, and youthful program, Take the Lead. And of course, there's no right frequency to tune into on your dial at this hour than West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting on 94.9 FM from the West Wing of Africa, the heart of Senegal, Dakar. Many thanks for joining the cruise and welcome to this week's edition of our youth magazine program, Take the Lead. I am your host. In today's episode, we are going to look at self-motivation. Follow me for some intro. Internally and externally, everyone seeks a personal drive to be able to thrive amidst the challenges they may find themselves in life. In our delight to possess that strength, we seek to be self-motivated. Obviously, even though sometimes we may desire to have this clear value, the psychological and emotional stress that follows it makes us worn out and discourage us from pursuing our clear objectives. Self-motivation, therefore, becomes the driver which is needed by people going even in the face of setbacks to take up opportunities and to show commitment to what they want to achieve. But how can we get it right? Is this value we are about to talk about learned or is from experience? And how can we consciously improve on it? Joining me in the discussion focusing on self-motivation are my young, vibrant, and strong gentlemen. Rahim Awafo is a media broadcaster and Richard Amwako Jampa is a writer all from Ghana. They are going to help share the nuggets to inspire us to self-motivate and how we can emotionally and mentally prepare ourselves to stand strong even when no one validates our actions and inactions. They are my guests. So, hello, gentlemen. You are welcome to Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting on 94.9 FM.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us, sir. I really appreciate it.
All right, sure. So let me begin with you, Jumper.
Yes.
Everyone seeks an internal drive to thrive amidst the challenges. What would your direction be for people who find themselves in that situation?
Thank you very much. I believe there's a whole lot of things that keeps pushing us, all right? So definitely, if you find yourself in issues that would want you to, that would want to test your internal drive and all that, I think you're just supposed to, keep pushing. You also have a focus. If there's a focus or there's something that you really want to achieve, I don't think there's anything that would ever put you down. Even if something tries to bring you down, I think your internal drive will still keep, you up. And of course, you have to up your game and still think positively so that you push towards whatever you want to achieve.
That is great. So, of course, Rahim, Jampa is talking about you having that personal drive and focus to push to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. So, I'm asking, many people delight in improving upon their self-motivation, as Jampa put it. But how can this momentum keep up? How do you get that momentum?
When you say self-motivation, it just presupposes that it is something that is very intrinsic. And so, as a matter of fact, if you're somebody who is always waiting for people's validation outside to determine what you do with yourself or to determine how you go about with your life, then it will be very difficult for you to achieve anything you want to achieve. And speaking of momentum, I always say that when it comes to self-motivation, momentum is very, very intrinsic. And it should be determined by the kind of targets you set for yourself. So, assuming you want to do something and you know that within a week I would have to buy a car. Within that particular week, the kind of energy your body or yourself internally would release into the system, it will be different. But when you don't have goals, or when you have goals and you don't have specific time limit to your goals, it becomes difficult for you to drive your momentum. So when you get up and you say, I know in future I'll buy a car, and you're just roaming about. The future can be 10 years, it could be 4 years. But somebody tells you in 2 months I need to buy a car, don't think the level of momentum intrinsically between you and that person will be the same. So it's about putting timelines to your set goals and targets. I mean, it helps you internally motivate yourself and build up your momentum to achieve success.
So of course, Rahim was taking over, but let me ask you that Rahim focused on the intrinsic aspect of self-motivation, and I want to ask, are there not extrinsic factors too that can motivate in your view?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, sir. I believe anything that has intrinsic factors also has extrinsic factors. So there's a whole lot of things that also contribute to people self-motivating aside the intrinsic one. There are so many external, factors that also push us to self-motivate. And then I can make mention of testimony, and I can also make mention of friends. I believe families are also part. And of course, our socialization, where we socialize, kind of people that made, going up and all that. But there are some people that have been able to, achieve something, even though they didn't take it lightly or easily. Even in Ghana or even in Senegal, there are so many rich people who had it not easily, even growing up, all right? And I believe it was not just even by self-motivation, it was also by the kind of, testimonies they heard from rich people who also gave them that ability to listen to their story and to some extent made up their money. Also do something. They were able to achieve success because they were being told. You get it? And also families, to some extent, sometimes when you want to achieve something, then you have family, backing you. I believe they give you the necessary resources, necessary measures for you to also, push up to, achieve whatever you want to achieve.
So Rahim, of course, so based on that, I'll ask that, does this self-motivation come out as a skill or is based on experience?
I wouldn't say it is not a skill, and I wouldn't also say it is a skill, because it is something everybody is capable of doing. If it is a skill, then it is a universal skill. Everybody has it. If you want to qualify it as a skill, then it means everybody has it. But some people are very good at it because they invest time in it. Some people are very good at it because they invest a lot of effort to self-motivate. And it is something everybody at some point in time would come to realize that that is the first level of motivation in this life, even before people outside will decide to motivate you. Because if you are not self-motivated, you cannot take a step. And mind you, those outside will only start clapping for you after you've taken your first step. Figuratively, when you do something that is good, that's when they will start clapping for you. But the point is, what pushed you to do that good thing to be noticed? That is a self-motivation. So eventually, if it's a skill, then it's a universal skill. Everybody has it. So by the people that are making good use of it are the ones that have psychologically, and consciously decided to work on their part of self-motivation. That's how I put it.
All right, sure. So Jumper, obviously, there is a motivational speaking trend, especially in our contemporary times, where everyone supposedly has 2 or 5 or 10 ways to achieve or do something. Do you see that as a pathway?
Wow, great. Thank you very much. I wouldn't entirely accept that people motivating, or people writing a lot of motivational quotes is a pathway to self-motivation. Because like I was saying, those kind of motivational quotes or motivational words are something that they developed for themselves. It is something that they actually passed through, and they were able to come up with those kind of quotes or those kind of messages that at least, growing up, these were the kind of things that I did pass through. So when it happens like that, please do this and do this and do that. But to some extent, like I would say, it worked for them. So necessarily, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for anybody. Please, you get me?
Yeah.
Yes. So it is not entirely a pathway, but at least it is one of the processes, for people to keep motivating themselves.
All right, so Rahim, obviously, in our hearts and minds, even though we may desire to have this momentum or force, sometimes we are stressed out and psychologically drained to handle motivation.
You normally lose motivation if you listen too much. I'm not saying do not listen, but if I say listen too much, listen too much to people outside. It is good that you listen when they are motivating you. There are some motivations that are extreme, There are some that you hear and there are some figurative expressions and some quotes that, I think that we have to probably take a look at it. Yeah. But, when you talk about motivation, it is all about you not paying attention to distraction. If I say don't listen too much, because there's a difference between listening people are motivating you and you're listening, and others are distracting you and you're also listening, because in both instances you will still have to listen. So you just need to be selective. That's why as a human being you need to know yourself. You see, all of these things that we are talking about, all this self-motivation conversation, it starts with you knowing yourself. I'm this person, I'm that person, I can do this, I can do that, that's fine. So if I know I'm a very good footballer and I play football, and James, you tell me that the football I played, you didn't really enjoy my style, that is your opinion. But if I doubt myself and you tell me you didn't enjoy my style, then I will be pushed the next time to kill myself, because I will be seeking, subconsciously looking for validation from you without realizing it. So it's all about getting to know yourself and believing in yourself. There are times where people come with critics that are constructive. You take it, you apply it, you move on. Then once you think you can't apply it, it's not by force. You just move on. But you need to get a hold of yourself as a human being. That's that's everything I'm trying to say.
All right, so you need to get hold on yourself as a human being. That's really positive. So personally, Jumper, can you share how emotionally and mentally you prepare yourself to boast shoulder high even when no one validates your actions or inactions?
Thank you very much. I think that's a very good question, and I've been researching on some topics, and sometimes I even try to put myself in the shoes of things just to know if it were me, how I would. So with respect to this, I'm the type that one, so I have not called to any intimidation. All right, if I want to achieve something, and I believe it is extremely achievable, and someone even done that before, the possibility that I can also make so high. So it's just all about getting the processes accurate and showing that I can also do it. And I would never kowtow to any intimidate anybody. So that is me. What I really want to do, if I want to do, I'll do it. I do not give ears to what the people are saying out there. Because there are so many people who have achieved great things even at this moment. And I'm sure when they were going, a lot of people were laughing at them. Or even if when they started a certain business or something, people were laughing at them and they were like, oh, come on, this would be achievable. They can do this, they cannot do that. But right now, they have done it. Then it is something like, it's like a sort of people that are collecting their wish. So the best thing is that if you want to do something and you have the urge to do it, do not listen to anybody. Don't go to anyone's advice, especially if the person wants to demotivate. You know what you want to do. You know the reason why you are doing it. And you know where it can take you to, and where you want it to take you to. So just put your mind towards it and effort towards it, and then never let anybody. When it gets to that point, you can credit yourself. So if you believe that you can do it, giving yourself that kind of self-credit or self-motivation, no matter what someone says elsewhere, it can never get into you, and they are never going to even, be bullied even within, emotionally or mentally. Just going to take your mind to do it. Because even after achieving it, those persons that were telling you that you cannot achieve, they're the same person that's going to congratulate you at the end of the day.
That's
so
beautiful.
You just need to be mentally tough, and then put it at the back of your mind that, yes, people are going to talk about it. Even in the process of doing it, you wouldn't get anybody to commend you. But definitely when you're able to achieve success, you get a lot of people aligning themselves to you and also you.
Wow, that's really, really inspirational. So, Rahim, it seems everyone wants to have, in quotes, that key to success and seeks this skill as the shortcut. Would you count self-motivation as a skill or as that key that everyone is looking for successful life or any adventure they want to pursue?
Not a skill, but like a requirement. Something everybody should have before you can. Because if you don't have it, even if you succeed and you get the money, you will still lose the money. Trust me. Because you need it to be able to fit in the system. Some of the time when you talk about fitting the system, people think that you are trying to be like others. That is not what we mean by fitting the system. It's a system. Your success is hovering around an economic system. It's hovering around a psychological and an emotional system. So that's the system we're talking about. If you're not self-motivated, you won't survive it. Trust me. And it will be very difficult for you to even land all the big contracts without you being motivated internally. Because some of the times, when you go to areas, when you are the successful people, they will tell you that when you go to places and you're supposed to speak to convince people to buy into your idea, people don't listen to the particular idea you're selling, but they look at your confidence in selling the idea. Because you that you're selling the idea, you don't even believe that your idea is sellable. We won't buy it. But somebody comes and the person gives an idea, because there's no idea that's right or wrong. It's only when we get to implementation that we can add or subtract something. Once it's an idea, and when you are able to present it well, you get your deal. And that kind of confidence that lands the deals in the multinational companies are because those people handling that part of the company are self-motivated. They believe in themselves, not too much, but they know that what they are doing is something that is worthwhile. So eventually, self-motivation is something you cannot live without. It is the first step in your success story. Imagine you are a musician and you don't even trust in yourself that the songs you are doing are good. Trust me, when you stand behind the microphone, everything that will come out of your mouth will be a disaster. Because you need to believe in yourself, enjoy the song you are producing before you would expect us to also enjoy it. Because when a human being is high, when your spirit is high, we can sense it in your speech. And when you don't have the self-motivation, your tonation is down. Even, explaining or presenting yourself even becomes a problem. So self-motivation is number one. I mean, when you put a bucket list of things you should do before you succeed, self-motivation is number one. Self-validation is part of self-motivation. They are all number one. Before you look out for the others.
Very, very interesting and very positive. So this, I think, is a very common question that everyone asks whoever is up there that they meet, which is what inspires you. And I want to ask that, does this truly connote that until someone has a personal inspiration, they can't win? Or you have a different view?
I think that in every particular cycle, in every particular jurisdiction, in the economic class, the person who tops the game more of the time is mostly the one who stands out. And so, even though they are doing things differently, I mean, at least if you have two boys, your kids, and you give all of them the same amount of money to start a business, and one person thrives before the other, it means that the person who is striving is doing something differently. And that person is doing something differently because the person believes in himself that this thing, if I do it, will work. And it is a risk. Because they say no risk, no reward. Some of the time, our business people are at the level with which they started because they are afraid of taking risk. And you need some level of confidence to be able to take risk. Knowing that this thing, if I enter, my money will burn, but I will still enter. It takes some level of guts. And that is confidence. That is be motivated that this one, I know my money might burn, but I will make it burn, so I'm entering. Do you understand? So everybody that is standing out is probably doing something different. Look at all the economic giants in the world. All of them are doing different things. They are thinking about things that will marvel you. They say Elon Musk is the richest man, and Elon Musk is thinking about AI. Elon Musk is thinking about creating a human AI. They are thinking about things that ordinarily, I mean, from where some of us grew up, you would even feel shy to bring that idea forward. That you know that people will tell you that, why, are you normal or something? Why are you thinking that we could create a human being? Because we were brought up to believe that only God creates human beings. So, I mean, even if it's a machine, it's not possible. But people are doing it. Those are the ones that are making it big. Those are the ones that are the economic giants. So the intrinsic motivation, I'll say it again, that's number one. And secondly, it is when you have it that you can do something differently. When you get the idea, the confidence and the willpower to push forward your idea without feeling shy or knowing that, this thing I'm going to say, I might be victimized, but I don't care. That is my mindset. That's my viewpoint. That is self-motivation.
That's right. So, Jump, are you there?
Yes, please.
You see, in the advent of social media, it seems the likes and comments we get on our socials is quite related to our ego, social strength, and online presence. In your view, is that boosting the confidence of people who, so to speak, if not for online, they may not have that voice, or is rather giving undue pressure, demotivating people?
I am one of the people that have never spoken anything bad against social media. I'm always on for the positive because I believe these people are, benefit positive content. Because if you can use it for the positive side, why would you focus on the aspect? So, with respect to the social media stuff, I believe that's impacted self-motivation positively. Because, like I'm saying, there are so many people that really want to share some kind of things that they are going through, which will motivate us by people. But such people don't have access to what do you call it, any of the media house. I mean, the physical house, you get it. Exactly. So the only channel or the only medium they can express it is through social media. They write it on Facebook, they write it on Twitter, they write it on LinkedIn, maybe Snapchat or Instagram, whatever. And when people get to know of this, message or this kind of motivational work, definitely the people are inspired, positive. And so I think it is all based on what you put out there. If you put good stuff over there, definitely people are going to also get the good stuff. Those who put negative side, negative things also, those that influence, or let's say people that are good, people that also put much energy, or let's say focus on getting to know the bad side of something, will also be influenced in that. So I believe that it has really, caused a very significant aspect to self-motivation than the next. But all depends kind of people that they have been in, because I want to get this genuinely. I follow genuine people that post right even on social media channel, unless on their social media that could be inspired in a positive manner, also if to become just as they have become, or even go further than what they have to achieve. All
right, very, very, very interesting there. So Raheem, oftentimes self-motivated people are seen as repulsive, toxic, or perhaps over the board. Do you side with that assertion, or is just that people are really, really intimidated by self-confident people?
There's a very thin line between being self-motivated and being proud. More of the times, people do not get to know them, and so they just cross it. They just cross the line, and that is what happens. More especially if you are self-motivated, it doesn't give you the right to probably walk over others, because when you put self-motivation on a scale, you can never get all of us having the same level of self-motivation. So eventually, some people will be more motivated than others. But when you make it look as if because people are not self-motivated, they are stupid or something, that is where your self-motivation becomes pride, or all those bad things that they normally associate people that are self-motivated with. So I just think it's a matter of people just understanding when to be self-motivated and when to respect and tolerate their views and opinions of others. The fact that you probably might have it in it, you might have that high level of intrinsic motivation, doesn't give you the opportunity to play on the psychological strength or emotional strength of others.
All right, so before we go, let me ask you this question. That even though we may be self-motivated, how can we manage our expectations? Sometimes we think we can do it within a short time. We think we can achieve that goal by all means and all of that. But the reality would always compete with us. So how do we manage such expectations?
Thank you very much. I think even beginning of it, I stated it earlier that it is all about the process, and that we can never discuss push without talking about time, season, So sometimes can be very self-motivated. They can really have confidence to achieve a certain task or even a certain purpose in a period. All that something. But you know that it all depends on what time and season. What time and you really want to be a big man. You want to have your PhD. You are really motivated to do your PhD. You become professor, masters, and all that. But you see, it's all about time. We have a lot of people that wanted. Have their masters even at the age of 25, but maybe they graduated or they finished their undergrad even at the age of 24. Even after that 24 years, there wasn't any amount of money for them to study the master's degree, and also they didn't get any scholarship. So sometimes you could really do something, but they should also know that didn't give you any sense of threat. You believe in time, and then you try to put the necessary measures in place to get towards it. When that time gets there, then you're able to achieve what you said. But if you are not able to even get it, it's also all about time. Maybe you don't have the necessary material, but self-motivated, whatever that had in mind within a particular period of time. So you have to manage yourself well so that you wouldn't be appointed when you have set a target for yourself. Within a certain time frame, not being able to achieve it. It doesn't mean you cannot do it. It doesn't mean you have failed. You still need to give yourself another time and more years. But that doesn't mean you should give up. If you don't give up, maybe the time could just even postpone. But with pertination, we can so ensure that at least do it. We have a lot of people who really wanted to let them marry at the age of 7 or 20. But even as I'm speaking, they don't have a body. So they might think that maybe time has actually beaten them, or let's time has beat them, or let's say that the time that they set for themselves is 5. No, that is never the case. You have the target, but you also believe so much in time. You also believe that everything also happens. So if you want to do something within a certain period of time, you're not able to do it. Doesn't mean you will be disappointed. You should even feel good as long as it's that vision. You still have that passion, that's so self-motivated. Yes, maybe the time is 5, but you can still give yourself more time to ensure that you do it. Some of these things is definitely going to avoid disappointment, like I stated earlier.
All right, sure. So thank you very much. So finally, within some 30 seconds each, I'll begin with Rahim. What will be your final recommendations on how to stay driven in the achievement of our goals as far as self-motivation is concerned?
I think that basically what you need to do is that you need to keep a winning mindset. So at the time when you talk about winning mindsets, people think it is too abstract. A winning mindset is just simple. Getting up in the morning and believing that everything you put your mind to, you'll be able to do it. That's all. When you say keep a winning mindset, people think you need to become like Alhaji Aliko Dangote before you can have a winning mindset. No, it's not. Even in your room, in your hut, in your cottage, in your village, when you wake up in your room, on your bed, just have it at the back of your mind that it's a brand new day and it's a new opportunity for you to do something. So whatever you put your mind to, no matter how little it is, you are going to do it. You're going to do it right. And if God is on your side, you're going to make sure that you do it in such a way that you will become the first person to do that thing some way in the world. Because like we always say, everything has been done before. There's nothing that hasn't been done before. It is true. But there are things that people are still doing that is giving them money. Because they are doing the same thing, but in a different way. So that is what I would say is one of the secrets to having success, in especially when you find yourself in a part of the world where nobody would readily serve you success on the table. These are some of the mindsets we could keep as the youth of Africa. At least we could also probably be able to muzzle up to our counterparts from the western side of the world.
Jumper.
Thank you very much. Personally, to achieve success, commit yourself to it. You have a lot of people who really want to do, but they just have the passion that I want to do this, but then they have not committed themselves to even whatever they want to achieve. They just want to, just wake up, sleep, and then wake up. But no, you just need to plan, commit to it, investment. And then within all these, you could like time is everything. Because when you are planning, definitely you have time. When you want to commit to it, you know when the commit to it, and then when the success comes for yourself, and then definitely going to extend a helping hand. If you are generous, they are honest, have the passion to assist.
All right, so thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me here on Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting on 94.9 FM.
All right, thank you very much for having us on your show.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Well, so let's get to some social media trends. Of course, we are fast approaching the second half of the year, and it feels like it was only yesterday when we were wishing one another the New Year tidings, and pretty soon we'll be sharing the end of the year compliments. No doubt, time flies, and so does the aging process. With each year, each day as we get older, we gradually lose our youthful vitality. There are things we did effortlessly years back that we find ourselves struggling to do now because the strength is waning. Not too long ago, there was a video of a legendary Hong Kong actor, Jackie Chan, circulating on social media. He was watching a movie he had featured in years back when he was battling with Faco and Vim, and he burst into tears. He could not control his emotions. We can only imagine what must have been going through his mind at the time. Now, on the flip side, aging comes with added knowledge and experience, which is the reason we tend to associate wisdom with age. Old age, to be more precise. You have witnessed and gone through a whole lot. You can make better choices and decisions that enable you to thrive. How then do you view aging? Does it fill you with excitement or fear? Let's get the opinions of a cross-section of our listeners on this one.
I have to admit that time flying by so fast is something that makes me feel anxious at times, excited at other times. mainly because I can't wait to see what life has in store for me. But I can't help but feel as though you need to take advantage of every second that goes by because you're not getting them back, right? I think that my greatest fear, though, regarding age is not taking advantage of every opportunity. I don't want to regret things. I don't want to grow old and find myself thinking, oh, I should have done this, I shouldn't have done that. Each new year, I try and be optimistic. I try and believe and manifest all the good. I want to be sure in my mind that I will do my best to take on any new challenges, to take on any new opportunities, and keep doing things that will allow me to be happy in my life.
My name is Damilare Adiesho. The fear of aging, what people call gerascophobia, it's a very serious thing. Personally, I've not achieved what I want to achieve at a certain age, so it kills a lot of things in you. It kills your morale, even at some point when my birthday is coming very close, I'll be like, God, I don't know what's happening. I want to achieve this before I get to this certain age, and yeah, I am. I've not achieved it yet, but over time I've come to understand that there is time and season for everything. I don't let the pressure affect me that much. When you're growing, you tend to understand life more, so you know that, okay, this is how life works. At a particular time, things happen. So all you just need to do is, pray, put in more work, and trust me, you achieve what you want to achieve.
My name is Gemini. According to Maslow's law, each human's greatest need is to self-actualize. Like, that's the pinnacle of it. In doing so, that means that you just want to, be the best you can be and live the best life that you can live. Aging, for me, I look at it as a way of developing. I do not necessarily have any fears apart from failing, but even when I do fail, I do not see it as a setback. I see it as a learning process. I carry myself and then I continue going. I desire to live an intentional life, and majority of the ways that I do that each year, even though sometimes I tend to be very fearful about how my year will end and how the new one begins. My aim is to live intentionally, to enjoy the best way I can, and extremely make sure that my mental health is in check. So whenever I feel like there's any negativity growing up, I shrug it off immediately. I find new ways to empower myself. I find new ways to motivate myself. And yeah, that's basically it.
My name is Imo Benedict. How do I feel about aging? Well, it fills me with revulsion to think that I would grow old. I would love to remain forever young, like that Jay-Z song, but I cannot deceive myself. We'll all have to age, okay? We keep aging every day, every second. It's not like a walk in the park. So I would love to remain ever young, with six packs, with nice skin, with good eyes, with good height and everything. But then when reality sets in, cells die, cells regenerate, all those things. It's a normal thing. And of course, I'd like to see my children and my children's children. So it's a process.
My name is Olamide Adebola. How do I view aging? I'm not excited that I'm aging, and I'm not scared as well, because I know that no matter what, there's nothing I can do about aging. But rather, I would love to achieve lots of things in life before I attain some certain age, so that I won't be struggling and waiting for my children to come and feed me or do some things for me. I want a situation whereby at a certain age, let's say from 40 to 50 upward, I've attained a great height where I know that I can leave treasures for my children and even children's children. That's the only thing that I would say it scares me. So once again, I'm indifferent about it. I'm not too excited about aging, and I'm not scared as well.
My name is Jacob. All right, for the year, I think I go into it with excitement. I go into every year with excitement, probably because I already have plans of what to do. But when it comes to age, and especially when it's getting close to my birthdays, I have this strong fear, because when I see older people, when I look at their skin, when I look at their hair color, I'll be like, something will just drop in my mind. This can be you someday. And that thought that someday I'll wake up and I realize that everything about me have changed. That's my greatest fear of change. That's basically it.
So in rounding today's package, here is the take home. To be able to become self-motivated, practice these tips. First of all, find mentors. For example, someone you look up to who is experienced in the habit you want to change. Surround yourself with positive people. Continue to set new goals. Keep the momentum up. And finally, regularly review your goals and progress. And that is how we wrap up today's edition of Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio, focus on self-motivation. I am James Edapon, your host. Remember to follow all our conversations on all our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram at WADR News, and on Facebook, West Africa Democracy Radio English Service, and stream live on WADR.org. Enjoy your day.